started, I'll go ahead and start. So there we go. As always, first things first, name and title.
Yes, Tim White, Timwhite. I am the executive director of Visit Wausau, which is the destination marketing organization for central Wisconsin.
So I guess first off, how much heads up did you get that this was coming? I mean, have you been in contact with your counterparts in Green Bay or even the Packers about what it would take to put this on?
Yeah, absolutely. Brad Toll, who's my counterpart, the executive director at Visit Green Bay. We're a part of a group called Destinations Wisconsin, which is executive directors around the state. We lobby for tourism and, do workshops, and we're a board. So he's been keeping us abreast of everything that's happening in Green Bay, from their new building, which is being built right now for a visitor center, and a work recruitment center. And then the NFL draft. They've been working on that for a number of years. It was, always an idea. And I think in the past, early on, it was kind of dismissed because of the market size, maybe because of the weather. But I think they've, because it's such a storied franchise, the Packers, and it's been there forever. It just makes perfect sense to hold an NFL draft experience there. Plus, the way that the Packers and the Visitors Bureau there have really kind of partnered together to, create these fan experiences outside and inside Lambeau Field. So they've really done it right, and we have a best in class stadium, and all the experiences that are around it, just best in class. So if you've never been there, even just going around the area that the Packers have designed and put up for entertainment, for fun, for all ages, it's really a must see thing in Wisconsin.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's, exactly what the NFL hits on with this. It is a 3-day, it's a 4-day party. You can, occasionally take in the picks, especially in the late round if you really want to, but more or less the emphasis is on a fan experience and connecting with the fans. So I'm guessing that has been a big part of the conversations as well.
Yeah, it is. And, obviously it comes down to revenue generated. I think the NFL draft has generated something like over $500 million of economic impact in the host cities. When Chicago did it a number of years ago for 2 years, they generated like 81 million in economic impact, when they hosted. And then I think when Philly did it, they had 95 million in impact, and they had over 250,000 visitors. And then, of course, Kansas City hosted this year in April, and they reported over 100 million in economic impact. And I think they had about 312,000 people. And it's not just there, right? But it's in the area. People want to be around it as well. And so it also creates a lot of temporary jobs for the economy, which generates millions in tax revenue for the area. And like you said, Michael, too, you got those 4 days of party, but you have all the prep time before and, clean up and stuff afterwards. So there are a lot of people involved, just like how Stevens Point is hosting, this year's U.S. Senior Open for golf. Everyone around the area benefits for weeks from hospitality, tourism, the local economy too.
So I
Yeah.
guess from that standpoint, have you already put the local hotels, even the central Wisconsin airports, anything like that? Are they all on notice now to say, hey, we need to start talking about this because this is going to be here before we know it?
Yeah, we'll be talking about it with the Central Wisconsin Lodging Association. Whenever you have a limited supply of lodging options in a smaller market like Green Bay, there's always a spillover for rooms. And what we've seen, the trend is, it seems like initially short-term rentals like Airbnbs, they max out first. That's what's happening in Stevens Point with the Senior Open. And then the local hotels fill up afterwards. And then people that, can't find that lodging right there, then have to find a place kind of on the edges, the peripheral, like Wausau. We know the Fox cities will fill up, after the Green Bay area, but then we expect the greater Wausau area to pick up the slack in that, at Stevens Point as well. And from an economic standpoint for us, it's hard to gauge because, again, it's hard to tell exactly how much of the spillover that greater Wausau will get. But conservatively, I can say we expect around 500,000 to 900,000 in local economic benefit. Another thing that we're going to do, other than the airport and the lodging partners, we're going to talk to local businesses and vendors who, are savvy enough to really be thinking creatively about how can we do promotions and parties and specials, because it's held in Green Bay. Even if people aren't making plans to go there, they're going to kind of feed off the excitement of having the NFL draft in our state, and what the Packers mean for our state as well. So the really smart restaurants and bars and businesses are going to go, hey, we've got this great special this week. Come on into a draft party. I think you'll see a lot more draft parties than you've ever seen in Wisconsin. And so we'll work with our lodging partners and local vendors to get creative and be ready for 2025. It's pretty exciting, but it's deserved. I mean, the state and Green Bay has done a great job in getting themselves ready for it. So we will too.
One more quick follow-up then, and then Sabrina, you can jump in. So does that mean like a watch party in the 400 block, giant inflatable screen, some cheese curd vendors, free beer, things like that?
Hey, thanks for that idea. There you go, right there.
All right. All right.
I mean, it just depends, Michael. Are we going to have, 10 inches of snow during the draft? So we're going to have it. I mean, if this year has been any indicator, we might have to have an indoor alternative for April, which I'm sorry to say. I didn't mean to bring that bad omen on, but
right.
I gotta be a realist. So, but yeah, we'll work in really kind of, all the municipalities in the area to really kind of host these super fan events. And of course, even if you're not a super fan, who doesn't like, having a beer and cheese curds with a bunch of their friends too? So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here. Honestly, I was thinking that like if dining on the street and outdoor seating was open at some point during that time.
That would be
Again,
awesome.
you mentioned it's April, so you never know. You never know what we're gonna get. But
True.
obviously you mentioned you're excited. There's a lot of planning that's gonna have to go into this. Is this something that has to start, right now? I mean, how far in advance? We're a couple years out, but how far in advance we would be planning for this?
Yeah, as soon as it was known, right, that it was official, that's when the planning starts. So there'll be a lot of pre-planning. Obviously in Green Bay, the NFL will have staff that will, basically go live there shortly for the duration before the event happens. I don't know exactly when they'll come, but they'll come, just like how Point has had, the Senior Open people have been there for over a year prepping for this because they want to get it right, and because they're true professionals. So they really, they have a template that works, but of course they have to really understand and know the area. And that's where, a visitors bureau is really helpful, as well as the chamber and stuff. So for us though, it starts with talking to all of our partners and vendors who can benefit from this, and coming up with some creative ideas. 400 block watch party. I mean, you can trademark that if you want. But that's a great idea. So, really kind of bringing our job as the visitor bureau, as Visit Wausau, is to bring partners together and to come up with creative collective ideas that we can pull off as a community. So we'll be starting those discussions shortly. So, and again, exciting.
Awesome. And I guess, will you be taking any ideas from the community, looking for that.
Oh yeah, if the community is interested or has ideas, I mean, we check social media all the time, but anybody can reach out to us or the economic directors and the municipalities, can reach out to the chamber, and people do. Usually people give ideas, but we also, go around. I don't really sit in an office a lot. I am actually out in the communities, talking to everybody, getting ideas, saying, what do you think about this? What do you really like? What do friends and family, when they come to visit, really engage in? So I feel like we always try very, very hard to keep on the pulse of local residents and the visitors that come in. And we're just out there, listening. If we hear somebody talk about something they want to do or they're looking to do, a lot of times I just interrupt their conversation and say, hey, there's a couple things that you could do that are really fun. And that's my job, my passion. I mean, I love this whole area and what it offers. And so, yeah, if they look at me really weird, I kind of explain, well, this is kind of my job too, but I really want you to have a great time here in the greater Wausau area. So yeah, we'll be getting a lot of feedback, and we'll be, talking to everybody and listening to what people have to say.
And I guess just how, this is obviously a pretty big deal. We could get some spillover. It's just going to be, it's kind of putting, I guess, how big of an event is this? How exciting and how big of a deal is this for Central Wisconsin, for Wausau?
Well, it's not as exciting if it were here. So that, but again, it's pretty exciting from a statewide standpoint. So, if any kind of big event that happens in the state, especially, 90 minutes from us, is worth really getting excited about. And I think as an area of central Wisconsin, the way that we promote it as a visitors bureau. So we'll put some information up on our website about it as well. And, that will help to draw people to consider the greater Wausau area as a place to stay. And of course, if they stay here, they're going to eat and drink sometimes here, even the ones that are going to Green Bay. But then, again, if we, and again, it's in that, what we call a shoulder season, which is that late March, April, May, which we're kind of, things kind of slow down a little bit. Our data shows that things kind of slow down for both visitors and residents. And so if we can create opportunities for people to get out and have fun, this is a golden opportunity to do that, if anything is. So, yeah, we're going to be in the forefront of really helping partner with everybody to get their ideas flowing and encourage them. And then they can use the visitwausau.com website too, because our stakeholders and partners that are a part of that can offer free coupons and deals on there. The hotels, lodging can offer, kind of deals through us as well. So there's a lot of opportunity. It's really all based on what people want to take advantage of, and we're gonna help create a toolbox. We'll get something from Visit Green Bay as well, just like we did Stevens Point, CVB. They sent us kind of a toolbox of things to help with promotion and stuff. So that's always helpful too. Travel Wisconsin does that too. They give us some good talking points for things. We haven't got anything from that yet, but yeah, we've got our own ideas, and we want to just help support everybody here to enjoy the weekend.
I think I'm all out, Mike.
I guess one more quick.
I probably talk too much, right? My answers aren't short enough.
Hey, we need all the
Edit
all
away.
the help we can
We
get.
need all the sound we can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you been contacted at all by the league? I guess have these conversations been had as to how many hotel rooms they may need in Wausau? Because obviously, you got like 5,000 or so in Green Bay. The league's probably going to need the lion's share of those, if not more, right?
Oh yeah, the league is going to take a lot of local hotels. A lot of, like, we found out for the Senior Open that a lot of the golfers are actually, they come in and rent rent short-term homes. They rent short-term rentals. They bring their own furniture too for their own comfort, which is pretty amazing. And there's some that are going to stay at the inn at Century, the nice new hotel that's there. But most of the golfers, they will rent a house. And so there'll be some of that as well in Green Bay. But again, the Fox cities will take up a lot of the slack of that initially. Like, as the visiting NFL teams always stayed in Appleton before they go to Green Bay. I think maybe at the Paper Maker Inn. Is that right, downtown? So, there'll be that, but we haven't gotten anything yet. It'll take a while. But Brad from Green Bay, Brad Toll, he'll include us in on things just like Sarah Brish at Stevens Point has. We work well together, and even though we both put up billboards saying come and visit us, Green Bay does that here, and we do that in Green Bay. So, but there's enough unique things that we'll be ready. We'll talk to the lodging association and say, we'll even talk about room rates as well, right? So that's the same thing with like the Senior Open, the issue of what do you charge for a room rate? And there's kind of a science and an art to that too. So yeah, we'll work hand in hand with them.
Awesome. All right. Well, I am out if you are out, Sabrina. So
I am.
awesome.
Well, thanks.
So we will stop.
Thanks,